Angel Reese and Magic Johnson are teaming up on a business deal. This one is important to either one of them because this one is giving back to the kids. This business deal is a playbook, a financial wealth playbook that will be introduced to Angel Reese's former school back in Baltimore. Will be the first place that they will launch it, and it's just a really, really big deal for that community and that group of people to get financial education. As you can see here, there's a huge wealth gap when it comes to the black communities compared to Hispanics or compared to the white communities. There's just a huge wealth gap, and a lot of that comes from knowledge. I grew up in a household that spoke finance. Both of my parents have been in finance for as long as I can remember. I even myself have a license to do some work in finance. So that is something that's near and dear to me. And I think the way to break some of those numbers up and see some change in that is to start young and really start educating the younger people on financial principles. Because you turn 18 and now it's you against the world. And if you weren't equipped before, you're gonna have problems. And so the black community is a community that is not getting passed down a lot of that information because maybe it wasn't passed down to the person before that or the person before that. I know going to school, financial education was just like, get the checkbook. This is how you write a check. Let's write some pretend checks and go buy something in the school for pretend. Like that was it where I went to a school of arts. So, but that was it when it came to finances, and we didn't learn anything about taxes, or we didn't learn about compounding interest or tax codes and how the wealthy use tax codes to shelter their wealth and different things like that. Wasn't taught to me in school and wasn't something that was typically talked about in the community I grew up in. Like the household I grew up in, I got that education when I got a little bit older. My parents were in finance and it was introduced to me. It was so intriguing that I went and studied and got myself licensed to operate in finance as well. So it is a big deal that they want to introduce some financial concepts to kids. They're simple concepts like go look up the rule of 72 and really learn how money can compound if it's in the right place, or how it can hurt you if it's not in the right place. The rule of 72 is something that if you understand it will change the way you look at investing, change the way you look at the markets, it changes the way you look at a lot of stuff. And there's just not enough education. And once I start working in finance, I realized that those principles and that education is held for a certain amount of people. There are advisors and companies, some of the big banking companies, will not let you sit down with an advisor unless you have $250,000 or above to potentially invest in the bank. That's not fair. Like, the education should come for free. And the great thing about now is we're in the technology era that you can Google, how will my money grow? What's the right way for money to grow? Whatever it is you want to look for. So we do have that, but it'd be great if we started young and start teaching people small principles at that age. Here's $1, put 20% away for your taxes, put 15% away to invest, spend 10% on yourself, put the rest away in a saving, whatever it is, to teach kids those principles really young, because kids are getting exposed to money at a younger age than ever. We see kid millionaires popping up everywhere, whether it's on social media, whether it's on YouTube. Like, we're starting to see their generation start making money sooner. And I have a young daughter that knows more about money than I did at her age, and she's aspiring to get money because she sees what money does for other people in a positive way. She's like, I want some of those things. I want the freedom and that. And so getting the right education is really going to be helpful for the next generation. So salute to these two for creating this and wanting to see the next generation do better financially. This is a big move. I'm super excited that this is happening. I'm AJ. This is my mic. Peace.